Somewhere right now, a machine is copying your encrypted data, your bank logins, your medical records, and simply waiting. It cannot read a single byte of it yet. It is waiting for a machine that does not fully exist. Not yet. Physicists call the day that machine arrives Q-Day. 3 papers published this year just moved that day much closer. The number of components needed to break your bank's encryption dropped 20-fold in 10 months. Some estimates dropped even further. To understand why this is even possible, you have to go back to the discovery that broke reality itself. A century ago, physicists ran a simple experiment that should not have worked, and reality has never looked the same since. Fire tiny particles of light at a wall with 2 slits, and unwatched, they behave like a wave, passing through both at once. Watch them, even once, and the wave collapses instantly. The particle picks one slit. Observation itself changes what is physically real. Then came something stranger. 2 particles created together stay linked, no matter how far apart you pull them, instantly. Measure 1 and its partner's state locks in the same instant, even from opposite sides of the universe. No signal, no delay. One famous physicist hated this idea. He called it spooky action at a distance, and spent decades convinced the theory was incomplete. Decades later, another physicist devised a test that could finally prove which side was right. Experiments have run for years since. The verdict? Entanglement is real. Not a trick, not a hidden variable. Reality genuinely behaves this strangely at the smallest scales. In 1994, one mathematician realized this strangeness could be turned into a weapon against ordinary computers and ordinary secrets. His algorithm showed a machine built on superposition and entanglement could crack the math protecting nearly everything you do online. That machine did not exist in 1994. Engineers have spent 30 years racing to build one that finally does. 3 research papers published in under a year just rewrote how close that machine really is to breaking your bank. In 2019, breaking standard internet encryption was estimated to need 20 million flawless quantum switches, called qubits, a staggering number. In May last year, a researcher at a major search company cut that estimate to under 1 million through smarter software alone. No new hardware, just better algorithms squeezing 20 times more work out of the same imagined machine. The bar dropped overnight. This February, a small Australian startup proposed an architecture that could cut the requirement again to under 100,000 qubits. That startup is already working with 4 separate hardware companies who believe machines at that scale are 3 to 5 years away. Then, in March, the most dramatic paper yet. It targeted the encryption protecting Bitcoin, Ethereum, and nearly every major cryptocurrency. Researchers showed that encryption could fall to fewer than 500,000 qubits in minutes, not days. A 20-fold drop from 2023. One estimate puts the odds at roughly 41% that such a machine could steal a private key before a single transaction confirms. The team behind the paper did something almost unheard of. They proved their attack works without publishing how to actually build it. They contacted a national government before publishing anything at all. Cryptography researchers called the response immediate and global. 3 papers, under a year. Each one moved the finish line closer, without a single new physical machine being switched on. Before you panic, here is the other half of the story. The machine that would actually run these attacks still does not exist. The largest quantum computer running anywhere today holds roughly 1,200 qubits. Noisy, error-prone, nowhere near cryptography grade. The new estimates need somewhere between 100,000 and 1 million qubits, working together with almost no errors for hours. That gap is not small. It is the difference between a paper airplane and a working jumbo jet. Both fly, only one carries you. Even the researcher who cut the estimate to 1 million says he does not see another tenfold drop without changing his assumptions. The startup that reached 100,000 qubits admits its architecture has never been built. It exists only inside a simulation. Keeping that many qubits stable, connected, and correctly wired together is an unsolved engineering problem, not a solved one. One real breakthrough helps their case. A major chip in 2024 proved errors can shrink as qubits are added, not grow. That single result is why serious engineers now say decades, not centuries. It used to be pure science fiction. It no longer is. Most experts still place the real Q-Day sometime in the 2030s. Very few think it lands before 2030. So the honest picture. The math needed to break your encryption keeps shrinking fast. The machine to run that math does not exist yet. But the gap between the two has never closed this quickly before. And closing gaps quickly is exactly what this field keeps doing. Here is the part that should actually worry you today, and it has nothing to do with waiting for Q-Day to arrive. Someone can copy your encrypted data right now, store it, and simply wait for the machine to catch up later, quietly. Security researchers call this harvest now, decrypt later. It is silent, it leaves no trace, and it is already happening today. Your everyday passwords are mostly safe. They expire, get changed, and lose their value long before any of this arrives. What is not safe? Anything meant to stay secret for a decade or more. Banking records, medical files, government cables, trade secrets. If someone is copying that kind of data today, the encryption protecting it may already be a countdown, not a wall. Regulators are not waiting either. Government agencies must fully retire today's vulnerable encryption by 2035, some far sooner. Cryptocurrency holders face the sharpest version of this. Every public wallet address is already visible, permanently, on a public ledger. The fix already exists. New encryption standards built to resist quantum attacks were finalized 2 years ago, and adoption is accelerating now. The organizations moving early will not notice Q-Day when it comes. Everyone who waited will find out the hard way, all at once. So, will quantum computers break the internet? The mathematics keeps getting closer. The machine keeps staying just out of reach. For now. 100 years ago, 2 slits in a wall proved reality was stranger than anyone believed. That same strangeness now has a deadline. The physicists who first broke reality open were not trying to break your bank account, but the door they opened leads there too. So tell me, are you switching to quantum-safe encryption early, or waiting to see if Q-Day ever really arrives? Stay curious and keep exploring the colossal unknown.